Hey, hey, hey. Oh my God. Okay, this is my first time going live on YouTube. Let me just adjust my camera real quick. I feel like I'm looking all over the place. Oh, yep, I see it. Wait a minute. My husband and boo my stuff, and I feel like y'all can see what's going on in my background, but that's a whole nother other story. Who cares? Let me cut the volume down on this bad boy. Okay, so look, what's good? Question: does money keep you up at night? And why am I asking this question? Because I am Auguste Crenshaw and I am a personal development coach and business strategist, and I help entrepreneurs develop sound mindset. I help with them with their confidence and their motivation, and I show them how to show up online effectively and authentically so they can attract their ideal clients so they can start making money. And it's literally just that simple. But here's the deal: everybody's out there, right? The internet has become our blessing and it's become our curse at the same time because everybody has access to everybody on the internet. And with that, that means the competition has a tendency to be very high. And you can put your stuff out there. You could do call to actions. You can have perfect gimmicks. Your websites can look cool and all of that stuff. But a lot of people got all their stuff looking good, but they aren't necessarily making money. And that's where I come into play. And so I want to know who is up at night because of money. You find yourself thinking about the bills, you're trying to sleep, you're like, I hope somebody clicked the link, they brought my product or my service. You're sitting there thinking about, that strategy session that you did that didn't go well, and why didn't the person sign up? All of those things have one thing in common, and it's your sales conversation. And that's what I want to know. If you chime into this live video, I want to know what your sales conversation is like. How do you feel once it's time to ask people to say, spend money with you? Some of you, is the reason why you're not selling, is it because you're not asking, or you like literally only showing up? You spend all this time. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm on Facebook a whole lot more than I am on any other social media platform. And sometimes the people, I mean, they do these posts where it takes you like 40 minutes just to read it. I mean, it's longer than a book. And at the end, it's like all of this stuff about why you should sign up for their programs and services. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, before you know it, I'm like, shut it down. And I don't even look at it. I mean, and to be for real, I would rather listen, or I would rather watch a video. But back to my point, how many of you do that? You think about typing everything out. You want to make sure you're using the proper words. You want to make sure you got the right graphics. Some of you may even spend money on pictures or spend a lot of time Google searching for the right kind of picture. I just want you to think for a minute that you should stop. Are you investing a lot of time in your website? What are you doing that's extracurricular, that's peripheral, that's outside of you to try to get money? If you're relying on all this stuff that's around you, you're not understanding the divine principle that says people buy things from individuals that they know, like, and trust. It's literally just that simple. There's nothing else to it. That's just as plain as it gets. And if people don't get a chance to know you, then how are they going to buy from you? And that's where using YouTube Live, doing videos, live streaming, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and stuff like that bridges the gap for people to be like, oh, okay. When they can see you, when they can hear you, when they can feel you, then there's a stronger connection. And that's one of the main things that will get you raving fans right away. But even with those raving fans, you still have to know how to sell. And so, do you know how to do it? What's your mindset like before you even get into the sale? When you get into the sale, do you know the groundwork that you should cover? Do you know that if you talk to a client the right way, they will tell you everything they need to know behind why they should say yes? If you ask the questions the right way, do you know that people will kill their own objections so you don't have to worry about going through the standard objections at the end? And no, I'm not just talking about the objection of, spouse approval, money, or time. Every industry has their own set of objections. Those are just like some of the easy cop outs, but you usually got to dig deeper to get to them. What if you could dig deep and get to them and get them out of the way before you even got to the time to close the sale? And then last but not least, every once in a while when you ain't, you know, knocking it out the park because maybe somebody did, you know, a strategy session with you on Monday, but they don't get paid until Friday to go ahead and go for the full contract for coaching. How many of you think that that's a cop out and you don't follow up? How many of you leave a fortune of money on the table because you don't believe in following up? And I mean, and it can just go on and on and on. Look, the bottom line is selling is the bread and butter to your business. Do you want to be better at selling? That's what I want to know. If you do, I'm putting a link up in the chat right now for you to click on, because unlike any class that you've ever attended that has taught you how to sell before, in my sales class, I give industry specific examples, but even deeper than that, specific to you and how you communicate and how you talk. Because in my class, even though I got the principles and the foundation down to a science, I want to know specifically based on your subconscious issues, your psyche, what you're facing and what you're dealing with, because there's a certain type of issue that you're attracting when you're trying to sell. I want to help you specifically with what you are doing with moving your products. And there's a certain way, you know, if you find that you keep getting the same kind of objections over and over again, there's something that you're communicating in the process when you're doing this, and it needs to be averted. And so that's one of the things that I love about selling. I don't believe in cookie cutters. I don't believe in scripts. Scripts are only good for people that want to sound like a robot. But that's another reason why so many people fail at selling. Why? Because they're reading what somebody else says, and when it's time to say those infamous words, so are you ready to invest in yourself? Things don't feel authentic. So I see I got 2 people watching me. Do you look? Please, comments in the chat. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are some of the crazy, insane things that you deal with when you're in the sales process? And let's see, you know, maybe I can even give you a little tip or something right now while you're watching me on the live video. But back to what I was saying in reference to the class, while I'm waiting on somebody to type in something. Look, the other thing is this class is recorded. And I give a close the sale checklist so that you can remember the little bullet points that you need to go through. And I have this simple PDF guide that you fill out while we're going through. So you basically develop your own script with variations of ways to navigate through the sales process so that you can keep sharpening and fine tuning that skill. It's recorded and you can keep going back and referencing it. And this class is going down on this Saturday at 11 Central Time. If you are already a subscriber to my channel, then you need to look at the testimonial from the young lady that I put up there that talks about how she couldn't attend the class, but it was so tailor-made and it was so precise because she returned the email back to me with all of the information that she was looking for, and I answered the questions in the class, and she was able to use the feedback on the spot. And in addition to that, her confidence was boosted, so she was able to actually run. Now, this isn't on the video, but I know because of working closely with her, she took the Nestea plunge, raised her price, and then had the confidence to ask for the sale. Now, how cool is that? Because how many of us is like, oh my God, I need to raise my prices. You were already struggling and had your fears around getting people to pay you at one price. And now you got to believe that you can graduate to another caliber of clients to pay you at another price. You know, so my thing is selling is something that every entrepreneur has to do. It doesn't make a difference if you want to do it. You gotta do it. And it's gonna make the difference between you getting your bread and butter. It's gonna be the difference between you living a lifestyle that you want to, hey, and you can't feed your kids off your hopes and your dreams. You have to get out there, you have to sell. And so it would be nice if entrepreneurship was this rosy, you know, lifestyle where the only thing you did was what you want to do, but there's some things that we got to do that aren't necessarily as fun. So I don't see any comments coming in through the chat. I'm pretty sure that everything I said, you know, I know it's self-explanatory, but by all means, please join me this Saturday. Click the link while it's on sale. The class itself is $147. This class is worth so much more, but I'm cutting the deal. The replay is going to be $197. So why don't you go ahead and save $50? Go ahead and enroll now. Most of the slots are taken. I'm only going live because I got a few of them left. I only want 10 people. I like to keep it cool and intimate so I can give this experience that I'm telling you about so you feel like it was was totally all about you and not about me having like this massive class with a bunch of numbers and all of that stuff. So I'm not going to stay on here all day and all night. I'll be back on here some more. Some of my other videos you guys have seen, I give tips and all other kind of, little nuggets to encourage you on your entrepreneurial journey. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. This is Auguste Crenshaw, the Real Talkpreneur. I am a personal development coach and business strategist. I help entrepreneurs develop straight up hardcore mindset, motivation, and confidence. In addition to that, I show them how to authentically show up online so they can attract their ideal clients and start making money. So I hope I see you in the class. Deuces.